Hi guys, and happy Saturday. Today is kind of a somber day, the anniversary of 9/11. But I feel like when your soul hurts for one event, you do something that's uplifting for another. So I thought I would make some cards today for some friends that I haven't, seen in a while, and just send them a card to let them know that I'm thinking of them. Today we're going to be using Gorgeous Leaves. This is a set that's in the July to December mini catalog. So it's available till, I believe, the end of the year. Also using today are In Your Words. Now, a lot of people may not have seen this. This is the Hostess set you get free when your show is more than $300. And I know a lot of people say, like, $300, that's a lot. But if you get like 2 or 3 friends together, it's easy to get to a show and, get to those rewards. But this is a set, so I'm going to be using some of these smaller greetings today. Okay, colors we're going to use today: Soft Succulent, Cajun Craze, Bumblebee, and Mary Merlot. And then the cardstock we're going to use today as our base is going to be Bumblebee and Cinnamon Cider. And then we're going to use the Garden Green for some of the edges. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stamp all over this with the different leaves in the different colors to make kind of like a one-sheet wonder, but not really, because we're just going to use these as regular card bases. So I'm going to get out my blocks that I have always on hand, and then I have my case of them down here too if I need more. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put, and I'm going to do with these leaves, I'm going to do, oh, I probably should put that one. Oh, no, they're the same size, so that'll be okay. Each one of these is going to be a different color. You know what? I'm going to put that one on that one on there. And then I'm going to do, I'm trying to figure out which background I want. I think I'm going to do, I don't know. Because I like doing the background first. If they were smaller, I would do them afterwards, but I think I'm going to do this now. I'm going to turn over this Very Vanilla cardstock because apparently I had color on one of my blocks. I usually use the Very Vanilla when I'm doing fall cards because I just think that the basic white is too bright. Okay, so let's figure out the colors I'm going to use. Since to me the Mary Merlot is the strongest color, I'm going to use that for the smallest one. And then I think that these will be fine with this. And then the Bumblebee is going to be my background. So first things first, I'm going to see first if I like it strong or as a second generation. I think I'm going to do it as a second generation. So I'm going to do stamp off once. I like to get all 4 corners first. Of course, turning your paper every now and then. And then we go to fill in. And then what we're going to do after this is, after we get the majority of this in, then we're going to come through, and now we'll just do the extras to fill in some of that dead space. It's also a good way to clean off your stamp. So let's do it a couple times there and just fill in some of that empty space. Okay, so there we have our background. Like I said, if it's a smaller background, then you would wait till the end. Excuse me, till the end. All right, I'm going to start using my Soft Succulent. Always trying to turn it around a little, doing the 3 triangle. Now I'm going to do another 3 triangle. So here's 1, 2. Now bring it down here to 3. Got a couple in a row there, but when we cut it up, you're not going to notice it as much. Then I'm going to do a couple off the edge for each card. All right, we'll put that one away. And then we're going to come in with this one now. Again, do I want to do, yeah, I want to do full strength on this. Again, just filling up, turning those around. Sometimes you can move your paper, sometimes you can move the block. I'm going to get a couple just around the edges here. I'm going to bring one down. Excuse me. Today, well, all week has been kind of a little bit mid-warm, coolish, but today it's supposed to get up in the 90s, and so my sinuses are just going to town on me. Let's see, let's get one up there. My Mary Merlot might need some inking. It seems awful light. Let me see. Now remember, we're going to be cutting here. Maybe I'll put one right in there. And maybe one right here. Okay. Now, when you cut, because we're going to make these our layers, I tend to cut down the middle first, and then I will trim from there to see how I like it. So let me get out my cutter. So we're going to go at 5 1/2, which will eventually go down to 5 1/4. And you could cut it that way right now if you wanted to. Yeah, I'm going to cut it that way right now. 5 1/4. I'm going to take my scoring blade out right now. So that's 5 1/4, and then these are going to be 4. So and I think that since I don't have a lot of that in there, I'll do the 4 on that way. All right, and then you have that strip. You always know you can use strips for the inside of the card. Now on this one, I think I'm going to do the 4 there, because I'll make that right at the edge. And I think I'm going to do that way. Okay, so there's another strip. All right, so here's my bases to go under. Now, if you want to, because we are going to be using this as a layer, as a, layer, I might punch something out of the center here, just so I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, so let's take out our bumblebee and our cinnamon cider. This we're going to cut down to 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. Then we're going to score it 4 1/4. Alright. Now let me put my score blade back in. 4 1/4. 4 1/4. And I don't ever fold them from right here. I use my cutter. Let me grab my bone folder. Because we all know that we could be a little off, right? So I always use my cutter, and I don't know if you can see. If it shows here, I'll angle it. I always go down in the corner here to make sure that both edges are up, and then I score it. Because sometimes you can be off just that little bit, and then you have that lip showing, and that just drives me crazy. This way I know everything is lined up. See that one, what I was a little off. Okay. And then I also have over here scraps. I group my scraps by color families. So I'm going to have those here just in case I want to do some like cutout leaves. So, oh, did I not cut all these down to the 5 1/4? Obviously I didn't. So I don't want to, nope, I sure didn't. I think it was just in that last one. So I think I'm going to cut this one this way. Okay, now we should have all 4 ready. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So we're going to go ahead and put it on there. Now I think that's a little light. So that's when I might come in with my coordinating color. Now this really is, I'm going to go 4 1/8. This isn't a color that's in there because this is soft succulent in here and this is garden green, but I need that little umph. So this one, since this was 5 1/2, we're just taking an 1/8 off. So this is going to be 5 3/8, and I did this at 4 1/8. And let's see how we like that with the bumblebee. So you see that's just going to give a very little edge. And because I never like to waste things, this is where I'm going to take my punch and I'll punch out because remember, you're going to show very little edge, so you can get a couple punches out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and punch that out before I lay it down. Okay, let me grab out my adhesive because I rearranged everything over last weekend. I don't know if you guys remember, but I kind of spent the 3-day weekend to rearrange my craft room because my craft room became my office when I got hired for a job to work from home. And then of course everyone started working from home, including my husband. So then I wasn't out in the other room as much. I decided to be in here, and my office kind of got, my craft room got taken over as my office. So I decided last weekend, since I had a 3-day weekend, that I was going to rearrange a little bit. So now I'm standing up here at my craft table instead of sitting down at my work desk. That is really sticky. All right, so just a little bit of an edge. There, looks so much better. And I can use these to highlight underneath my words. And maybe I'll do that. We'll see. All right, so I'm not going to show all 4 because you know how to do all 4. So let's go ahead and get in there with this. Let me grab my Memento ink from up here. You know what? No, I think that's going to be too stark. Let me run over and get my cinnamon cider pad. Yeah, let's get the cinnamon cider pad. And again, we're going to take one of my scraps. I'm going to take crumb cake. And take one of the blocks. Let's see. Peel off that leaf from that block. And I'm going to do this one. Now, I usually, with my red rubber, or my clear mount, however you want to call them, I usually still trim them down a little bit because I don't like edges. So let me throw that up there, and that, of course, I'll always catch an edge there because there's an edge to be gotten. All right, so I just trim them down a little bit. All right. Hopefully it's straight. Very good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this in and pull it through because I want to make this a little bit smaller. So see how that kind of all fits in the grooves there? And I'm just going to punch down. So now when I put it on here, I'm going to punch off that side a little bit too. Now this is where when you line up, so you see I'm kind of lined up there, you want to do that half pull or that half push so it holds on. And then let me go ahead and do that again. Let me go in a little. So now I have those lined up there. I'm going to, as long as it's still straight. Oh, see, it's really in between. So I'm going to go ahead and go just like that because I don't want to hit off that S. So now and again, I'm going to pull this through and we're going to just leave a little bit of an edge there. Sorry, it's hard to do without getting my head in the camera. And then, oh, I have to remember, this is the only thing now, I have to remember where I put everything. So now I'm going to take out my black dimensionals. I always like using the black dimensionals when I'm using a card that doesn't have a white base, and sometimes depending on the colors. Because if you happen to see it from the side, you don't see that white, which would be really stark against that very vanilla. It'd be very noticeable. All right. And there you are. I'm going to do the three others, probably pretty similar to what we just did, but now I have a card ready to send out to one of the friends that I haven't talked to in a while. If you wanted to, of course, you can always put a little strip on the inside, you know, or on the long side, just to jazz up the inside a little bit. I usually don't put another, like, basic white or very vanilla inside when it's this light of a color. But on the Bumblebee, I might, because it is just a little bit darker and possibly hard to read depending on which ink you use. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Let me go ahead, burnish that line just one more time underneath that edge. And there you are. Have a great Saturday, a great weekend, and hopefully the somber, weekend, the remembrance of the 9/11 will motivate you not only to think of others around you, but also get you in your stamp room or your craft room or your dining room table or wherever it is you stamp and make a card for a friend to send out. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.